Hot Wheels, Battle 5. Hot Wheels, Battle 5.
Title, Get Zemerik, written by Grant Sauvé. On the Sark homeworld, two Red Zetners patrol the streets. They stop in the middle of the street to scan the surroundings but find nothing. As they move off, a large hatch in the ground opens. Zemerik Zeelix emerges onto the street.
I'll keep your distance, fool!
Zug's mission is to follow Lord Zemerik. Follow him everywhere.
Yes, but do you have to follow so closely? Follow me!
The Zeelix peels off. Sometime later, Zemerik and Zeelix drive through a warehouse passing rows of massive shelving and crates. Closing in on a signal, they pull to a stop near a pile of crates.
At last! I found it!
He punches a crate open.
Once I was ruler of this planet. Now I scavenge spare parts for my vehicle. Kratos will pay for my humiliation!
Suddenly, two fireballs close in on their position and strike Zug Zendril. They see Kytrin and Kyrosis at the end of the corridor.
Zemerik, we must retreat!
Zug draws Zemerik away.
No! Destroy fugitives!
Kyrosis shoots another set of fireballs at the retreating fugitives who drive their vehicles clear through a wall of crates to the outside. The fireballs veer off as their targeting system directs them to a tall spire, which they knock onto Zemerik's path. They evade the structure and reach the city's edge.
Torborian Badlands. No Sark that enter ever return.
Precisely! I dare the red sentient cowards to follow us!
Us?
Might I remind you of your mission? To follow me! Everywhere!
Zemerik accelerates down a steep cliff. Zug follows, and they make their escape into the Badlands.
Fugitives in Badlands! Advise against pursuit!
Kratos materializes.
If Zemerik thinks the Badlands will deny me my revenge, he is gravely mistaken.
Advance!
Kratos merges with his car and leads the group forward. On Earth, Sage mans the computers while the team works through a battle simulation.
Let's do this! Tez, tighten it up back there. I am maintaining the proper velocity for this maneuver.
Right. We're all out of formation. Is that it?
I'm glad one of you is willing to admit your failings.
He's all yours, Agora.
On it! Spinner, Sherm, you're up.
I've got him in my sights. Don't miss. You got one shot with the sentient data probe.
Don't worry, Bert. Nerves of steel.
Booyah!
Spinner hits a button.
Simulation successful. Command codes extracted from Zemerik.
The simulator releases their cars.
Don't miss? You ever hear of something called positive reinforcement?
Yeah, works for Zoom. But for you, it's all about tough love. If we secure the command code, Sage can make her anti-Sark super virus.
And all the Sark, blue and red, get pwned. Big time.
Making it much easier for us to stop Kratos and his Reds.
Cool. But what if I miss?
Don't miss!
Okay.
Vert and Agora carry Spinner to a console.
Do some work. Find Zemerik.
Well, the digi-link I set up on our last trip to our fave Sark vacation spot should still be working. It gives us limited access to their security cams.
Nothing. Whoa!
I'm good enough. I'm strong enough. And everybody likes me.
That dude is so random.
There's something to be said for privacy. Next camera, Spinner.
The view changes to the Sark homeworld.
Bingo!
They see Zemerik's escape.
Looks like we're not the only ones hunting Zemerik.
They see Kratos close by.
Mount up, team. Next stop, the Sark homeworld.
Moments later, the team races through the salt flats. A storm shock opens. They punch through to the Sark homeworld and come to a stop at the edge of the Badlands.
Can I get a whoa?
I'll double that whoa and throw in a yikes.
I've been to some pretty desolate places back on Earth, but this takes the cake.
The Torborian Badlands. One of the most desolate and dangerous areas in the multiverse.
It is prone to high-energy ion bursts. The split-wire sensors cannot penetrate them.
Same here. This will make tracking Zemerik extra impossible.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Who needs sensors when we have the best tracker around?
I guess that's my cue.
Agora plunges down the cliff face into the Badlands with the team close behind. Meanwhile, Kytrin and his team of Reds pause in their pursuit of Zemerik. Kybori looks back to see an ion storm tear through a brigade of Zetners. Shrapnel falls at Krytus' feet.
Ion storm approaching.
Ion storms are the least of our problems. Legend has it, these Badlands are home to vicious predators.
Confirmed. Predators include lightning vultures, giant mech squids.
And worse, a mysterious entity older than the sands of the desert itself that wanders the Badlands.
This predator unconfirmed. I'm surprised to find you spooked by legends, Kybori. I thought you stronger than that. If one of these legendary creatures wants a fight, I'll give it to him. Nothing stands between me and destroying Zemerik. Look out!
Krytus leaps to safety as a falling object smashes onto Krylox's Scimitar.
Threat to Krytus! Eliminated. A lesson to all of us. No more accidents.
Krytus merges with his vehicle once more and resumes the hunt with the remaining Reds. An ionic surge strikes the Zendril.
Lord Zemerik! Zug must stop! Zendril not work so well!
You stop when I do, Zug!
Yes, Lord Zemerik.
It's imperative that we find a tactical vantage point to mount a counterattack. Follow me!
An ominous green figure watches their passage from a cliff. With the Battle Force 5.
The Reds aren't slowing down for anything. Look!
Let's find Zemerik before Krylox has a chance to respawn.
Is anyone else experiencing,
Giant mechanical tentacles shoot out of the ground.
Giant robo-squid!
The tentacles reach for the Tangler, but Agora quickly escapes. The team splits up. A tentacle cuts Tez off. He stops and reverses, and then evades more of the probing arms. A tentacle snares the split wire and lifts it high above the ground.
The Make Pulse should have shredded the steel. It feeds on electromagnetic energy. Power down!
Tez shuts the split wire off. The tentacle lets him go into a free fall. Bert uses the Saber's chainsaw to cut through a mechanical arm. The severed piece falls into place below Tez, and the split wire slides safely to the ground.
Tez, I suggest you run on low power mode.
Suggestion noted and agreed with.
Elsewhere, Zug's Zendril falters as electrical waves course over its shell.
Lord Zemerik!
What is it now, Zug?
Zug falls as waves of energy pulse over him.
Zug, what is it?
Zug mission protect Lord Zemerik.
Zug, we cannot stay here.
Zug cannot. Zug broken. Protect Lord Zemerik's power core. Use it. Escape. Zug expendable. Zemerik must survive.
You have always been loyal, Zug. I will return for you, my friend.
Zemerik removes Zug's power core. Meanwhile, a figure approaches from behind and strikes Zemerik with a blow from its staff that knocks him to the ground. In the Badlands, Kybori scans the surroundings as Krytus and the Reds wait.
I've lost Zemerik's trail.
This is the closest I've come. I want my revenge now!
I want to deactivate that robot as much as you do.
You better do it quick.
Looks like they lost Zemerik's trail.
Of course they did. Kaibori's a noob. I can pick up Zemerik's trail on the other side, if we can get past the Reds.
No problem. Tez, how about a little electromagnetic diversion?
But the split wire's electromagnetic energy attracted that giant mech squid.
Exactly why you should fire a blast at one of those Zentners.
The split wire opens its charging antennas and a large energy ball grows between them.
Reacquire Zemerik's trail. Examine every speck of sand.
Now,
He fires at a Zentner.
cue the tech squid.
The ground around the stricken Zentner rumbles and shakes. Prytus and Kaibori turn around to see the squid burst through the surface.
Next squid attack!
Elsewhere, Zemerik awakens to find himself strapped to a table in a dark room filled with computers.
What is this? Who would dare?
A robotic arm descends from the ceiling, climbs onto his head and behind, drilling into his neck.
Prytus! Is this your doing? Face me, coward!
He blasts a nearby console and his bindings fall away.
You and me, Prytus. Now!
He lashes out at a figure in the room, disabling it.
What manner of Zerg is this? Perfect! As your rightful ruler, I command you to join me! What?
Immune to his mind control, the two green Zerg fire their staves at him.
Release me! I am Lord Zemerik. I am your leader!
Zemerik looks up.
Soon you will follow the Alpha Code.
Never! I will never submit!
The Zerg approaches Zemerik with a glowing disc, which burns a symbol into his forehead.
Agura, do you read?
We are practically running blind thanks to these ion storms.
Maybe we need a fresh perspective. Zoom, recon report. Find Agura.
On it, Bert.
Zoom watches the chopper off a low hill going into glider mode.
Agura located. Dead ahead.
She sees Zoom overhead. The rest of the group joins her as she examines Zug's lifeless form.
Zemerik took Zug's power core. Then Zemerik was attacked from behind, knocked out, and dragged to that.
She points to a structure.
Okay, we follow the trail. But first, we need to shake Krytus. Sherman, can you power up the Zelix?
You got it. Hey, big bro, you ready for one sweet remote ride?
Warming up my thumbs as we speak.
Meanwhile, the Reds ride through a silicone death storm. Suddenly, sparks emanate from the Bilorex.
Silicon damage to Bilorex. Critical. Must exit storm.
You are going nowhere. No one leaves until we found and destroyed Zemerik.
It looks like now is our chance.
They see the Zelix.
Zemerik, take him now!
Kaibori falls in line with the Zelix and scans it. The Venicus pounces, but the Zelix swerves out of the way.
Ooh, nice try, Kaibori. But eat dirt.
Spinner adeptly steers the Zelix, remotely directing the car to move back and forth, evading fiery blasts from the Synthrax. He swings out of the way of a falling obelisk. Krytus pulls up alongside the Zelix and sees the unmanned cockpit. He looks ahead and sees a fast approaching ledge. The Zelix goes over. Everyone skids to a stop except for 3 red Sark, which slam into Kairos', pushing him over the edge. Kairos' vehicle is destroyed as it hits bottom, and his red energy floats up into the air.
Plan worked, Bert.
You know it.
Nice job, guys. Now we just have to figure out what took Zemerik.
The team heads to the desert structure under the watchful gaze of a green Zerg.
The Zelix was controlled with this blue sentient tech.
The humans are here. Battle Force 5 will pay for this deception!
Krytus crushes the control box in his fist. Meanwhile, Agura fires upon 2 green Zerg as the team drives into a mid-level floor of the building.
Impressive. A splinter race of Sark that has created its own city in the Badlands.
Several different generations by the look of it. I wonder how long it's been here.
This place is huge. It's gonna take a few forevers to find Big Z.
Something's happening.
The Zerk gather around the central core.
Something big.
Zemerik paces toward a high ledge.
There's Zemerik!
Brethren, once I enslaved you, but you escaped into these Badlands. I thought you all had perished, but was wrong. Instead, you found enlightenment. You found utopia.
Is it just me, or does Big Z sound weird?
I was arrogant. I sought to control the multiverse. Now I know that is impossible. That we are all subordinate to the Alpha Code.
The Zerk pound their staves.
Definitely weird.
It appears that he has been either hypnotized or reprogrammed.
Accept my worthless exoskeleton!
You gotta be kidding me. He's gonna jump!
Whoa! If we lose Zemerik,
We lose the command codes, too.
Make me one with the Alpha Code!
no.
Zemerik leans back over the precipice and plummets to the dark pit at the bottom. With Zemerik as he falls,
Zoom, meet you on the other side.
Bird activates the fusing device.
Unite!
The Saber and Chopper enter the fusing vortex in a blinding flash of light.
And strike!
The Skyknife emerges from the vortex and descends to intercept Zemerik.
Release me! The Alpha Code beckons!
Sorry, Zemerik. We gotta pick your brain about something.
They land on a balcony.
Incoming!
As the Zerk close in, Sherman and Spinner use the Buster's chain mace to destroy them.
Sherman, Spinner, do your thing. Everyone else, let's buy them a little time to work.
The Skyknife activates its saw blade and cuts through several Zerk in defense of their teammates.
Peace comes to all those who embrace the Alpha Code!
The Tango grabs Zemerik as he tries to jump.
Whew. I liked him better when he was a cruel dictator.
Firing sentient data probe!
Booyah!
Spinner taps a button and the probe launches from the Buster and attaches to Zemerik's chest.
We're in! Hacking Z's databanks.
They were built out of scrap, and we can turn it back into it.
Agura slices through a Zentner.
Spinner, how's it coming? We can't hold him off for much longer.
Data secure.
They release Zemerik and recoil the probe.
What do we do with Zemerik?
He wants to be with the Alpha Code. Let him be with the Alpha Code. Move out, team!
The Battle Force 5 leaves Zemerik as a group of Zentners close in. Bird's eyes widen as he sees another group approaching ahead and swerves into a narrow doorway to avoid them. Zemerik gets to his feet as Krytus and the Reds arrive. Kaiburi stops on another level.
Battle Force 5 are escaping!
Taz electrifies two Zentners as he escapes.
Deal with the humans. I have a score to settle with Zemerik.
Righteous old friend!
You are no friend of mine!
Krytus deploys his arm blade and skewers Zemerik.
Revenge.
At last! We were the same once, Krytus. Blinded by ambition, by power. But the Alpha Code has brought me peace. I forgive you.
Zemerik's eyes go dark and he collapses.
You forgive me? You forgive me? No!
Krytus raises Zemerik's lifeless form overhead and then throws it into the chamber's central pit. The Battle Force 5 burst out of the structure.
Desert Shark on our 6!
And it looks like the Reds are finally onto us too!
There's our escape route, guys.
The Buster's flail slices through pursuers.
Yeah! Uh-huh!
Nice move, big bro!
A Zentner collides with them as the Reds close in.
Evasive maneuvers! Let's hit that bridge. Spinner, plant some charges and blow this thing sky high. Zoom and I will stall them.
Planting boom packets.
The boom packets scatter across the bridge behind them. Krytus and the Reds race to intercept the Battle Force 5. Krytus fires blades at the Skyknife, which rolls to avoid them. Skyknife flies low, clips the Cyphurius, and sends it flying into the Venicus. Kaiburi loses control of the vehicle and it spins out, hitting the Vilorex.
On your word, Bert!
Really? The Skyknife couldn't wait another 30 seconds to unfuse?
Blow the ordnance!
The explosion blows a hole in the center of the bridge. The bridge collapses outward from the center and the Reds fall into the great pit below. When the sky knife unfuses, the chopper enters hover mode and reaches safety.
Come on!
The Saber lands on the edge of the collapsing bridge, its rear tires spinning as they try to gain purchase. It falls.
Gotcha!
Agora winches him up.
Thanks, Agora. Let's get these command codes back to Sage.
Back at the hub.
Awesome work, team. We toughed it out and it paid off.
Not exactly. We've got some bad news.
I'm afraid I am unable to manufacture the anti-Sark virus.
Why?
The command codes from Zemerik were corrupted.
Corrupted? By what?
Zemerik's mainframe appears to have been altered by a code that I am unfamiliar with.
The Alpha code, no doubt.
So this mission was a bust?
Not entirely. At least we have one less bad guy to worry about. Krytus took out Zemerik. For good.
With him out of the picture, it's down to the Vandals and the Reds.
You know, call me crazy, but I think I'm gonna miss that old blue Sark dictator.
The team glares at Spinner, puzzled.
Of course not.
In the high-tech base, 2 Desert Zenders drag Zug's lifeless body down a spiraling ramp towards the bottom of a pit. The Zentners drive over a platform which extends over the pit and tosses Zug's body over the edge. It falls a great distance and then lands in a heap at the bottom, near Zemerik's body. A tall robotic being powered by green energy approaches the heap.
Arise, my humble servant.
Zemerik's eyes open, shining a bright emerald green.